Hello guys, I'm Klista, and today we're going to be learning whether or not athletic ability is something you're born with or something that is learned. What do you guys think it is? Do you think athletic ability is nature or nurture? Good guess. Well, it's actually a mix of the both. Let's find out why.
Although athletic ability is strongly influenced by external factors, genetics is also a pretty important influence as well. Athletic ability is derived from physical traits of the body that allows an individual to form as an athlete instead of an individual who wouldn't necessarily compete in athletic competitions. For example, there are types of fibers in the skeletal muscles which can be used for endurance called slow twitch fibers, or for sprinting and other exercises that require power called fast twitch fibers. These fibers and muscles, along with aerobic capacity, muscle mass, flexibility, coordination, height, intellectual ability, and personality all contribute to athleticism. The genes that scientists have studied that are associated with athletic performance are ACTN3 and ACE. These genes influence the kind of fibers that make up muscles and are linked to strength and endurance. According to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, the ACTN3 gene provides instructions for making a protein called alpha-actinin 3, which is predominantly found in fast-twitch muscle fibers. A variant in the ACTN3 gene and a variant in the R577X both lead to a genotype of 577XX. The 577XX genotype is most commonly found in high-performing endurance athletes. Athletes who rely more on strength or speed have a high proportion of the 577RR gene, which is associated with the fast-twitch muscle fibers. The ACE's gene job is to provide instructions to make a protein, angiotensin-converting enzyme. The enzyme changes a hormone, angiotensin 1, to a separate form called angiotensin 2. The angiotensin 2 hormone aids in controlling blood pressure and could also have an influence on skeletal muscle function. There are other genes that help in all different functions, from the function of skeletal muscles to producing energy for the cells. Athletic ability is greatly affected by both genetics as well as the external factors.
While genetics may have some influence on one's athletic ability, there are other external factors that affect how well you perform within your respective sport. A few of these being training, good nutrition, and maintaining a positive mindset. Research that has been conducted on aerobic endurance shows that some people have a positive reaction to training more than others. Just because someone has a low genetic potential for endurance does not mean they can't respond well to training and develop their potential. They may even respond to training more than someone who has a high genetic potential for endurance. Training also increases one's cardiac efficiency. However, the extent of the increase often depends on genetics. Genetically gifted athletes will usually have a greater response to training and will have a larger increase in the number of mitochondria. The mitochondria are organelles found in cells that produce ATP, adenosine triphosphate. ATP is an organic chemical that provides energy currency in the likes of muscle contraction, nerve impulse propagation, and chemical synthesis. Genetics seem to have less of an influence on other common characteristics athletes possess, such as balance, agility, reaction time, and accuracy. These skills can be improved with proper training. An athlete's nutrition also has a great effect on their athletic performance. Athletes can avoid hitting the wall or losing energy during an event by training their bodies to burn fat and continuing to supply the working muscles with energy during an event. Having a good mindset and practicing skills such as imagery, visualization, and maintaining stress and anxiety can all be learned and mastered with practice. These techniques, along with learning other strategies of the respective sport and avoiding injury, are all critical factors in having success within a sport, but have very little correlation to genetics.
Let's check out this YouTube video by The Riches to learn more about the ATP gene and how it affects athletic ability.
Face it, everyone wants to be the most popular kid in school, and traditionally that role's been taken by the star football player. Whether you're in school or you're out, there's a clique for everyone, and even if you want to be a star quarterback, a defensive forward, or a kick-ass volleyball setter, there's different positions that might be better suited for you just by judging your shape and size. Outside of your shape, your internal body chemistry has a huge impact as well, and if you come from a long line of home run hitters, the chances are you'll inherit the specific traits needed for that level of hand-eye coordination. In fact, about 50% of fitness success is connected to genetics. That's why you'll see close relatives find themselves in the limelight every so often. Five-time NBA champ Tim Duncan has Olympic swimmer Trisha Duncan for a sister, and Jets Pro Bowler Nick Mangold has Olympic weightlifter Holly Mangold as his sister too. No matter how hard one may train, high responders who are genetically predisposed to quickly adapting to physical obstacles are much more likely to be top athletes than low responders. We all wish we had good genes inside of us, yet it's not one gene that makes or breaks our athletic talent. There are multiple genetic factors that could lead to you becoming an expert in any field. And it could be as simple as you inheriting the trait of being tall that could give you an added boost in your basketball skills. If you're lucky enough to have the right version of Actin 3 in your genome, you could follow in the fiery footsteps of Usain Bolt. Everyone's got the molecular protein of Actin 3, aka alpha-actinin 3, inside their genetic makeup. But there are 3 different types that just might define how you physically react to the world around you. If you were to undergo a special test known as the Athletic Talent Laboratory System, or ATLAS for short, the results could reveal whether you're destined to be a power player or a spectator from early childhood. Some scientists challenge the validity of the test. The makers behind the ATLAS test hold true to their belief that it can't predict sports playing prowess. You see, there are 3 different variants of Actin 3 that you might have, and depending on which one, you may excel at sports that require quick bursts of energy powerlifting, running, and hot dog eating. Okay, just kidding about that last one. The only gene they need is a Gene Simmons tongue to help down as many hot dogs as possible. Anyway, it's believed that around 1/7 of the world's population have a duplicated variant where the Actin 3 gene just doesn't work. With a non-functioning version unable to produce protein for muscle cells, whoever has this Actin 3 deficiency is probably not going to win the World Series anytime soon. The general population tends to mostly have a mixture of the variants, which seems to be a dulled-down version of Actin 3. Generally, your average person has a cocktail combo of the variant traits you'd see separately in marathon runners versus relay racers. Endurance athletes have different volumes of the type of Actin 3 that's specifically related to endurance skills rather than those who play explosive sports, but they each have a high concentration of Actin 3 allele that aids in their specific type of performance. Still, some rules are made to be broken. There was actually an award-winning long jumper who was missing high levels of not one, but both the XX, or endurance version, and the RR, or sprinter version of the gene. That didn't stop him from competing in 2 separate Olympic Games, thanks to his heavy training regimen alone.
So now that we have a better understanding of how our DNA plays a vital role in our genetic makeup, we understand that those people who are born with an ACTN3 gene have the highest potential to become an elite athlete. But don't be discouraged. With hard work, determination, and practice, you too can earn a spot on the field.